the Mid-America Conference on ESPN. Welcome on this Thanksgiving weekend inside Kelly Short Stadium on the campus of Central Michigan University. Huge one with complications all around today as the Toledo Rockets come in to tackle with the Central Michigan Chippewas. Great to see everybody. Glad you're here. Michael Rega alongside my partner Gerard Cherry. And yeah, plenty of MAC championship complications. Gerard, we know that Western Michigan's there, but still we'll find out today who is going to be their opposition at Ford Field in Detroit. Toledo Rockets want to be that. They've had a terrific year. They've come down the stretch very, very well, and they Chip train them. In this kind of weather, they got a running back that can tote it and put points on the board for them.
That's exactly right. With Chip train them, what are you going to get? You're going to get a guy who has the ability to take it to the house, be it 20, 30, 40, 50-yard runs. He's a home run hitter. But more importantly, Michael, what I appreciate about his game is the fact that he does what? He runs with authority and an attitude, and that if you tackle him, he's going to make you remember.
No question about that. We've seen that all year long. However, on the Central Michigan side, there's a linebacker that said, I'll take on that challenge of tackle and trade him, and that's Jordan Kwiatkowski. Heavy hitter. What a year he's had, Gerard.
Certainly. If you turn on the film, he stands out. Number 12, you can't miss him. Making interceptions, making tackles for losses. Just sideline to sideline linebacker in which he has the job of slowing, train him down. So this is certainly a great matchup we're going to see today because, again, Jordan has a chance to play on the next level simply put because he does what? He has a relentless approach to playing the game of football.
Oh, yeah. Hope maybe you're having another drumstick, some mashed potatoes, some cranberry sauce, and all the trimmings. Gerard might need that today. 31 degrees right now, cloudy. Few snow flurries are wisping around here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Just the way a dude like you from Cali loves it, my man.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to go bare chest today, Michael. That's how much I'm embracing the cold. But, yes, a hot toddy or two, some hot chocolate, hot tea. I would take that and a cup of chili because it is freezing literally out here.
This is just another November Saturday in the state of Michigan, my man.
That it is.
This
that
how
it
I
is.
grew up, baby.
I know. You're tougher than me.
All right, Toledo's going to get the football
You
first.
walked to school in this, didn't you?
Yeah. They're dressed in their road whites, all whites tonight. Central Michigan cars going in all maroon. What a spectacular Saturday for football in the Mid-American Conference. Game on here at Kelly Short Stadium. Not returnable on that kickoff boot, which means, and both these teams, by the way, are very quick starting squads as we take a look at this Toledo offense, Gerard, and that means Tucker Gleason. What did Jason Candle, the head coach, tell us this week? He's finding ways to get the football to his playmakers and avoid turnovers, and that's been big for them.
Yeah, when it comes to playmakers, he certainly has a bevy of choices to choose from in that you got Vandeross, you got Rudolph, heck, you got Trainum. Across the board, they just have playmakers on this Toledo Rockets offense.
And no question, it is quite a group, and they get the football first. And this is Chip Trainum. Trainum broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to wind up getting 5 near the 30-yard line. Chip Trainum, Gerard, came into with a huge day. He needs 144 yards of that ball-carrying activity. Could go over 1,000 for the year.
Yeah, if you're averaging 6 or 7 yards a carry on today's game with the conditions, he more than likely will eclipse that mark.
Second straight carry for Trainum. He got 5 more. We'll see where they spot it. If it's at that 35-yard line, yep, move the stick. So 2 totes, 10 yards for Chip Trainum. I think Toledo loved that if he's going to go 5 a carry for him.
Exactly. I'll take that average all day, every day, and I'm certainly thinking that Coach Campbell feels the same way as well, and that they are certainly going to ride their workhorse, and that is Chip Trainum.
Well, the Central Michigan defense trying to lock in on Chip Trainum. That's going to cost Toledo that second 5 that Trainum just carried with on the previous play.
And we talk so much about having great down and distance and not creating pre-snap.
Start. Offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Pre-snap penalties. And obviously for Toledo, you do not want to be in a situation where now you're facing 1st and 15 because that tilts your hand because you're more than likely going to throw the football to get back on track.
So down box is at 1, but that now yards to make at 15, as Gerard was just saying, for Tucker Gleason. And this Toledo Rocket offense that averages 32 points a game on the year. Train them again.
Oh.
Broke one tackle, but oh, did he get rocked. Is coming up to put that hit on Chip Trainum was Dakota Cochran. Cochran, the young man from Cleveland, Shaker Heights, Ohio, making the hit.
Oh, Dakota right there looked like a battering ram as he just catapulted himself into Trainum and knocked him backwards. And that's a rare scene, Michael. Anyone knocking Trainum backwards on
no
a tackle.
question. The 230-pound senior from Akron, Chip Trainum. Gleason going to get Trainum the football. 4 straight touches for Trainum. He got back those that he lost on that last snap, plus a couple, but this is going to bring up 3rd down and long. Let's call it 3rd and 8. Trainum's the only one to touch it so far, other than quarterback Gleason.
Certainly been featured in this drive thus far. And on that play, Michael, I would like to see him just burst ahead. He tried to wait for the blocks to set up, but he'd have been better served just simply taking off and getting all he could get on his own.
Sure, yeah. 3rd down and 8. Oh, the Central Michigan defense on the year gives up 22 points per game and overall 353 yards per game. 3rd and 8. That quick in route is hauled in, going to be about 2+ yards shy of the 1st down. Tucker Gleason looking over at Toledo Rocket head coach Jason Campbell after that throw was hauled in and making that grab. Ryder Treadway on the catch. And Jason Campbell says, let's get that punt team on the football field.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, his quarterback, Tucker Gleason, wants to stay on the football field. Say, Coach, we got some more in us. But that's a wise decision on the part of head coach Jason Campbell.
Toledo done a solid job. They were at 42% on 3rd down conversions. And now this rocket punt from Dylan Cunanan. Got a good back tail on it and it's going to put down at the 10-yard line. And that's where this Central Michigan offense will take their first reps of the day. So Joe Labus, this quarterback, Gerard, there he is. What did Matt Drinkle, the head coach, tell us? He said, we have certainly recruited the type of quarterbacks and brought in some too that are going to be able to offensively be strong for us.
Yeah, and I just love how Coach Drinkle just praised Labus in that he's the type of guy where he's not going to be rah, but he shows through his work ethic and his play leadership. Can never diminish or appreciate that type of attitude and approach from a quarterback position.
Absolutely. And keep an eye on Nari Biggins' play fake. Labus has got what he wants. He'll connect with Tommy McIntosh.
Tommy didn't want his name in the paper.
Well, that 1st down hit, Labus, Tommy McIntosh. Gerard, he's running 8 yards free.
Wide open in a very experienced secondary. That's an uncommon occurrence. But right here, the turf monster gets him because if he doesn't fall down, I have to imagine that he's in the end zone.
They're celebrating. The whole offense is down in that end zone right now celebrating. Be that as it may, though, that strong hit got 35 from Labus to his wide receiver, Tommy McIntosh. Going to run that reverse now. Toledo got all up on that as they put a wallop. It's coming up to make that hit for Toledo. That looked like out of that secondary. These guys are hard hitters, too. Chris D'Apollonia in on that hit.
Yeah, Lucas showed some toughness right there to hold on, and Lewis, rather, showed some toughness to hold on that football.
Well, Andre Fuller certainly helped out D'Apollonia with that hit. Stay with the ground game.
Whoa.
Oh, not much there. Toledo is really coming out hitting again. Nari Biggins, just not much there.
This is a physical football game, and why am I so impressed? Because generally speaking, when you have cold conditions like this, guys don't want to lay the pads, but they are certainly ignoring the conditions and bringing it. Wow, that got me motivated.
There you go. Gerard wants to go hit somebody. Understood. On 3rd down this year, Central Michigan's offense at 35%. Toledo's defense even a little better, holding their opponents to only 30% conversions. 3rd down at 5 for Joe Labus. Looks to put it up. It is caught, and that's a first down. That's that shallow crossing route to Langston Lewis, Gerard, and they schemed that well to get Lewis running across the formation.
Exactly. Well-designed play in which you have a situation where Lewis is running across the formation. So what does he do? He sits down in the area where there is no defenders to be found. We call that, once again, taking what the defense gives you.
Toledo linebacker Kavion Shuren, the junior, finally stopped Lewis. Central Michigan on the move now. Move the sticks into first down once again. Back to the ground game. Little bit of a crease there off that left side. Brock Townsend on the call. All right, Gerard, what do we have today for the keys to this one?
Well, for the Rockets, it's all about ball security. You cannot afford to turn the football over, beat a fumble or INT. And then when we look at the Chippewas, how do you go about creating turnovers to give your offense led by Joe Labus more opportunities to be on that football field?
So third down now. Oh, excuse me, second down. It's second down. We'll call it a long 4 here. That line to make is about at the 27-yard line of Toledo. In that eye, Labus going to stay with the ground game through a crease, busting tackles and running strong. Once again, Brock Townsend. Townsend may be the bigger back, Gerard, at about 225, the redshirt freshman. He lowered the pads nicely.
He certainly did. And pick your poison when it comes to the Chippewas in that backfield. They do it by committee, and right there, Townsend showed you why he has so much promise, and he's been sensational throughout the course of the season in his redshirt freshman year.
Good call on that, partner. You got it. Brock Townsend said 225 pounds, has put 4 touchdowns down. They love him here in the go zone inside the 30-yard line. Townsend again.
Yeah.
Following the blocks of that tremendous redshirt junior right guard, Brady Plaucha. He wears number 59. Keep an eye on him. They love to run behind him.
Right. We're seeing something we're not accustomed to if you cover the MAC, and that's seeing a Toledo defensive front get pushed around, because right now Central Michigan is having their way and dominating in the trenches.
And they're running it too. It's with the exception of the one outside toss, they're running it tackle to tackle.
Yes, they are. Right in the interior.
Yeah.
Say this is football weather.
It is. Second down and 5.
I disagree.
Stay right there. First down and more. Look at the push from this Central Michigan offensive line for Brock Townsend again. Gerard, I think, we're on it. We've seen it. I mean, that's 4 straight runs now, inside the tackles.
Right, and don't be surprised it's the 5th straight.
Excellent push there. First down and goal for the 3.
Okay.
Look at Toledo coming up off the edge. That's an outstanding hit. Brock Townsend had the carry, but he got met quickly by, that's Langston Long, who wears number 20, that 225-pound junior backer.
Yeah, Langston Long said enough is enough. Shoots through the outside from the C-gap, D-gap area and makes a tackle for a loss. You're going to need that type of play in the red zone area to slow down this Chippewa offense, because right now they have been cooking.
Second down at goal from the 6. Let's see if the Chips want to put it up here with Joe Labus. Townsend offset. Labus, straight quarterback run. They're looking for that O-line push. That's going to get whistled down at about the 2-yard line. So, Gerard, that's just straight quarterback push. Keep behind that O-line, and no ball fake there of any type.
No, not at all. And I like the call because, typically speaking, Labus is not the guy that's going to come in, will run the football. He's more known for being the passing option for this offense. But right there, they took a tendency breaker and ran with Labus.
This is the 11th play of the drive. Oh, boy, I tell you what, I mean, Central Michigan, their head coach, and this offensive group couldn't have built it any better than that for Matt Drinkle. Labus, look at corner end zone. Now comes middle. It was maybe deflected, but it got off the hands of Tommy McIntosh. Incomplete. Now, if you're Matt Drinkle, what are you looking at here? Fourth down now and goal.
You got nothing to lose at the end of the day, where you're saying to yourself, we score, great. If we don't, we have our defense pinning them back against their own goal line with a chance to get great field position again. So I like the decision making on Coach Drinkle's part.
Fourth
Be
out
aggressive.
Right, Gerard. Fourth out conversions for Central Michigan, solid at 71% on the year. Labus, play fake. McIntosh in the corner. Did he get in?
I thought he got in.
No signal yet.
Oh.
Now they're saying that the football did not cross the plane, and it's a Toledo stop. They spotted that football, Gerard, inside the 1 yard line.
It's on the inch line. A great open field tackle right there, because I'm thinking McIntosh is about to go in for the score. Nice play design. You have a quick out route. 1-on-1 tackle in the flats between Andre Fuller and McIntosh, and Fuller gets the job done.
Well, Andre Fuller, he's a man, isn't he? 6'2", 205 pounds, a young man from Florida. He said, that's okay. I can play in the snow and cold.
You just outline his physical attributes. That is all day, every day, pro-ready cornerback from height, weight, and if you throw his skill and everything else along with that, he's an impressive individual.
Quite the defensive play from Toledo. They get the turnover when we get back. Back at Kelly Short Stadium, Gerard Cherry. This is a huge touchdown-saving hit from the senior corner, Andre Fuller, who wears that number 3 for Toledo.
Exactly. Open field tackle. You're in a situation where you need to stop McIntosh, and that's exactly what he did. Now, McIntosh could have helped himself by extending his body earlier in that football out there. Obviously, he didn't do that. You see the elbow and the knee come down before reaching the goal line.
If he does, you think he's got 6, huh?
He scores.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities on that drive for Central Michigan.
From inside the 1 yard line for quarterback Tucker Gleason in Toledo. Play action. He'll deliver that quick out. That was hauled in by Trayvon Rudolph, and Rudolph quickly got dealt with off that corner by the Central Michigan secondary.
Yeah, well, more impressive for me, not the
Kwiatkowski?
catch. No, it was Cochran not body slamming him.
Yeah.
Because he could have totally have done that, and that would have been a big penalty.
And Dakota Cochran, he gets into coverage quite a bit. You know, he plays next to Kwiatkowski, but a lot of coverage there. Now back to the ground game. It's a strong push off that left side of the O-line for Toledo's running back, Chip Trainum. Oh, Trainum, you know, when Toledo's offense is humming and certainly moving, change, and putting the points on the board, Gerard, he is a huge component of it with his touches.
Certainly is.
Gleason, that long out. It is hauled in. Should be a first down after Junior Vanderos, the outstanding senior out of Tampa. That's his 72nd catch of the year. And oh, by the way, 11 touchdowns, too, in his offensive pass game work.
Right, one of the NCAA leaders in TDs. And what we're seeing on this drive, unlike the first drive in which Toledo had the football, Michael, is much more of an aerial attack.
Yeah, they ran Trainum, 4 times in that first possession. So here they are with the senior quarterback out of Tampa, Tucker Gleason. This is second and maybe a half yard. Gleason will come middle. Had it batted down and knocked away. That's Jordan Kwiatkowski. Get used to the name, folks. He's big time at that linebacker spot.
Certainly, if he's not an all-MAC performer at the linebacker position, then something is wrong, because he's just a phenomenal football player. And right there, he does exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't get to the quarterback, knock it down.
Third down is short with Trainum offset next to Tucker Gleason. This is Chip Trainum. He's got the first down to move the sticks. He followed the blocks off that right side, Gerard, and that is the 300-pounder Ethan Spoth, the right guard, and big Cole Rett, 300-pounder at right tackle.
Right, Cole and Ethan do a nice job of giving Trainum the spacing needed to pick up that first down. Very physical run, and these two guys right here, as you see, very big individuals who can certainly move the crowd.
Remember, this drive now started closer to the goal line than it did the 1-yard line. Gleason now will get out of the pocket, gun that deep out. It was on the hands of Junior Vanderos. I tell you what, Central Michigan's DB, Akeem Snell, Gerard. Snell said, I'm going to go try to shortcut this and come up with a football. Wasn't able to make the play, though.
No, he was not, and you appreciate the effort on the part of Snell. And right here you see the advantages of working together. Now, Junior almost makes a phenomenal catch, and he wants that back, because normally when the ball hits his hands, he comes down with the grab.
One of the best receivers in college football, Junior Vanderos for Toledo. Back to the ground game. First carry of the afternoon for Kenji Christian, and just quite frankly, the maroon-shirted Central Michigan Chips D said, no, Kenji, first carry's not going to be successful.
No, it was not. Whenever you see a running back running parallel to the line of scrimmage, chances are he is not going to have success running up the football field.
Good look at head coach Jason Candle there. What an outstanding run he has had as first and assistant coach, and now the head coach of this Toledo Rocket program. Always in the running to play in the MAC championship game, and big-time bowl performances too. Gleason, a lot of time. He'll gun the out. That is hauled in and then knocked down by Kwiatkowski and friends at the 30-yard line. Making that catch was Jacob Peterson. He's the tight end, Gerard. Big one, 255-pounder, but Kwiatkowski, Gerard, would you say he's one of the surest, most definitive tacklers we have in the college game?
Oh, no doubt about it. Look at the stats. It speaks for itself how many tackles Kwiatkowski has. I mean, coming into this game, he had 96 tackles, and he's probably approaching 100 as we speak.
Want to give it up, though. Jayon Jackson, the corner, the sophomore corner, had that first hit for Central Michigan. Oh, Toledo, for the second time, has got to punt the football away. Well, that line drive shot from the 20-yard line didn't get a great tail drag for Toledo. It'll come dead at the 29 of Central Michigan. All right, 40-yard punt without a return. We've almost burned the entire first quarter. Still scoreless in Mount Pleasant. John Cherry's got a couple of strong impact players for you here this afternoon. Go ahead, Jay.
That's right. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. We haven't heard much of him yet today, but I expect to hear his name called when the draft takes place in the NFL. And then Nyree Biggins, haven't seen much action from him as well, but certainly a guy who can take it to the house and just a very phenomenal player for the Central Michigan offense at the running back position.
All right, the snow has started here in Mount Pleasant. We expected that today. Now, both these squads are cold weather teams, but do you think the personnel on one might give it a small edge over the other?
I would say yes, in the sense that for Central Michigan, they have a bevy of running backs. They have a committee approach. You just have training who's enough, don't get me wrong, for Toledo, but
sure.
I like the idea of multiple backs that can wear down a defense through the course of a very cold and physical football game.
Second possession for Joe Labus. He wants to put it up. He gunned that out route. We'll see that football kind of waver and kind of float when it was in the air. It was caught by Langston Lewis as it got out of the hands of Joe Labus. Boy, Court, we got the sense that head coach Matt Drinkle was saying, doesn't matter what the weather's going to be. We're running our offense, and we trust Joe Labus to put the ball in the right spots.
And he's doing just that. And give credit to Lewis. It is so challenging to catch footballs in this weather, and he's making it look easy.
Off that quick play action fake, it was kept, but that was a direct snap, and that went to Marcus Beeman, who had checked in. While Gerard and I were telling you about Matt Drinkle, Marcus Beeman, Gerard, he's a junior QB. He's now the backup to Joe Labus.
Right, with Angel Flores being out due to injury, Beeman has come in and has done the part of what he's supposed to do, is that running quarterback within this two-headed monster quarterback offense.
Well, yeah, and they like to use them in third and short fourth down situations. That is going to be the final play. How's that for a rapidly moving first 15 minutes? We are still scoreless in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, as the snow starts to fly. Central Michigan's football. A lot going on in the matchup with Toledo when we come back. As the snow flies inside Kelly Short Stadium, Mount Pleasant. Take a look at the lower left of your screen there. We're going to keep you updated. Great job by our producer, Gene Winters, and the crew. Miami and Ball State tied at 7 apiece in Muncie. Kyan Kelly, the quarterback for Ball State, just rolled off a 56-yard touchdown run after Miami took the early lead.
Yeah, in these conditions, when it's cold out here, you want a running quarterback, and Kyan Kelly certainly fits that billing.
All right, direct snap now for Central Michigan. Oh, not much there. Look at the white shirted Toledo defense all over that. That's Braden Alls, who wears number 6, Gerard. He was up quickly as went direct snap, did the offensive Central Michigan. Marcus Beeman just had nowhere to go because Alls was right in his grill.
Right.
Do have a flag.
There's no foul for a face mask.
No, we don't.
4th down.
And Braden Alls, to his credit, since he stepped on the football field for the Rockets as a freshman, he has done nothing like but make plays.
But that partner, that's a great point. How good has he been out of that secondary? And you love the size, too.
Yeah.
6 foot, 200 pounds, and loves the hit.
Right. They have a secondary in which every guy out there as a starter has a chance someday find themselves in the National Football League. That's how talented and that's how well they play.
Yeah, 100%. All right, putting this football away now, Central Michigan. Declan Dooley to hit it high. Ooh, that wind swirling, snow coming down. That's Bryson Hammer, Gerard, on that Toledo return. And Hammer said, I'm going to go down to my knees to make sure I hold this football in. We're scoreless. Toledo ball when we come back to Mount Pleasant. Whether you're a Toledo Rocket fan or a Central Michigan Chippewa fan, you better dress warm today here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Temperature a little bit below freezing as we began. Snow flurries now started. Series history, though, Gerard, it's plus 10 for the Toledo Rockets. And if you go back 15 years, 13-2 plus Toledo in their matchups with Central Michigan. So the Rockets have owned it here of the last decade and a half.
Yeah, you can pretty much make that statement. The Rockets have owned this conference since Kendall's taken over as the head coach. And even prior to that, they've been a dominant program in the MAC.
So from their 25-yard line for Tucker Gleason. Going to go with that ground game. And that first down carry from Kenji Christian. Christian, the backup running back, Gerard, but powerful, much like Trainum, 6'2", 210, out of Birmingham, Alabama. Has also played at Vatech and North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, certainly a power back, a guy who likes to get his shoulder pass square. And to the credit of the Chippewas, he has not been able to do that. Hence why we're not seeing as big of totals with his carries.
Only got ones. Look at the tie for Gleason. Going to trigger the out route.
Oh.
What a ball he just threw. Are they going to say that that's caught? Yeah. That is a catch from Junior Vandeross. Terrific catch. Got the foot down, at least one of them, to stay in bounds. But how about the ball from Tucker Gleason?
Yeah, we talk about putting in a tight window, and he had to throw it at an angle to fit it between two would-be defenders. But Vandeross shows you why he's such a sure catching receiver and one that Tucker Gleason certainly trusts.
Tucker Gleason comes in today with close to 2,500 yards in the air. What in the world is? Well, that's late. They're lined up, ready to snap the football on that first down for Toledo after the catch, or we thought catch, by Junior Vandeross. What went on there?
Well, I know one thing. Central Michigan did a great job on those sidelines of debating the call, saying that he was fumbling around with the football, and they took a look upstairs. Apparently that was the case.
I mean, the ball, not only was the ball spotted and marked first down, but Toledo and Central, Toledo was up out of the huddle. They're ready to snap the football.
Right.
And Central Michigan, so I guess give that one, huh, to head coach.
Well, let's take
Matt
another
Trinkle.
look at it. Here we go right here. But as you see, Vandeross to the sideline. And obviously, if you're on the opposing team, you're going to say he didn't catch it. And right here, looks like a catch to me.
Great look from our ESPN crew. Great job, guys and gals, giving you that look. But again, let's look at it from the end zone here, behind the play.
I mean, what's the issue?
If he's got the football, that's a catch.
Right, is he fumbling around the ball? It doesn't look like he is to me either.
Gerard, that had to be the only thing.
Yeah.
Because if he's secured the football, he's got definitively that left leg down in bounds for the catch and the first down.
Right, and you can probably make the argument that both feet were in.
Well, the crew taking a look at it here today.
Yeah, couldn't go through this first half with no delays. Look at those people, man. I must say, that is love right there. For you to be in this environment and watching family and friends, that is love. Because you literally have to pay me to be here.
Come on, partner. People are going to start thinking you're soft.
They can think all they want. Just don't say it to me in my face.
No, I'd fight for you. The last thing I'd let anybody say is, hey, Rick, your man Gerard Jerry's soft. I know he isn't. What? I'd fight for you on that.
Yeah, man. I got California in my blood. That is love. But again, back to the play at hand.
Well, what do you think? I mean,
it looks good to be. Where's definitive information on those angles that shows differently that he did not catch the football? I don't see anything that can reverse it, but maybe they have a better angle than what we have.
Well, we're going to hear from Tom Wortman here in a second. He's our game referee, the gentleman with the white hat.
The ruling on the field is upheld. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the 26-yard line.
So no catch. What did they see?
Well, our producer, Gene Winters, he and his crew, they're all over it here, the camera guys and everybody in the truck, and they didn't feel that was a secured catch. It was a juggle.
2.
All right. Well, hey, look, be all this as it may. It's 3rd down and 9. All right, let's refresh after that. The line to make is at the 35-yard line for quarterback Tucker Gleason to put it up. Out route.
Bam.
Nobody home for Central Michigan. Gleason could have counted the crowd there as he delivered that out route and hit it to Eric Holly. There's Holly, who wears number 81. Akron East High School for Eric Holly, his 14th catch of the year.
And D. Fernandez, the DB on the coverage there, just has to do a better job of providing tighter coverage, be it zone or man in those type of scenarios.
Well, Tucker Gleason now. The Toledo offense going to go quick. Look at Chip Trainum. Chip Trainum just lowered the pads and said, take this to the usually strong corner, Jayon Jackson. Now, Jackson only does weigh 160.
You're right. That's a 60-pound differential right there. So
yeah.
I give Jackson credit for just being tough and running to him in the first place. But that is one heck of a run by Traynham.
Yeah, make no mistake, though, Jackson is a very good tackler, even at 160 pounds. Traynham again on that call. Got a couple. We'll give him 3. Then we'll call this 2nd and 7. We're a couple minutes into the second quarter. Great to have you along here. Toledo's got to win for a chance to get in the MAC championship game. And look at Gleason keeping the football. The 245-pound QB just rolled.
And that's one element of his game that is so underrated, in that Tucker Gleason has wiggle, folks. He can beat you with his legs as well. As you see, he sees nothing downfield. Okay, I see open space. Why not run for some first down yardage? That's certainly what he did.
He's rushed for 113 yards on the year, but that's a big one there. Red zone time now for Toledo. Traynham. 3 maroon-shirted Central Michigan chips on the hit. Late flag came down in the holding area. And again, it was Jordan Kwiatkowski who led that trio of chips on the stop.
Yeah, and I love what
Offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I love what Covert Dimma did on holding the point of attack, in that by him holding that edge, it doesn't allow for Traynham to get outside. Watch 56. This is how you hold the edge, and then you also get held at the same time by Stephen Gales. But that's just a great job of playing defensive football and understanding that I cannot allow this football to get outside of me.
That's Toledo's offense now. Looking to get in that red zone where they've been superb this year. Look at that dart. That's delivered by Gleason. He put it on his wide receiver, Trayvon Rudolph, who made the catch near the 10-yard line. That's 18 yards at a first down. Hook up Tucker Gleason to Trayvon Rudolph.
Yeah, and that's what you like, is, again, you're seeing receivers doing a great job of saying to themselves, okay, where's the defender not located? Let me sit down in that zone area.
Let me check that. Was that Terrell Crosby on that grab? On the catch? All right, Terrell Crosby on the catch. So I stand corrected. Looking end zone. That's going to be too high. That football, you see it float a little bit on Tucker Gleason as he was looking for that throw into the back of the end zone. It's going to bring up 3rd and short now.
Yeah, interesting route combination right there where you have 2 receivers running slant patterns. And I don't like that, Michael, because what it essentially does is it puts more defenders in that middle of the field area, and that's already a tough area to complete a pass.
3 wide receivers, Junior Vander Ross, Eric Holly, and Ryder Treadway across the formation here. And of course, the running back to the left of quarterback Tucker Gleason is Chip Traynham. Gleason. Now that pocket broke down, throwing end zone, out of bounds, incomplete.
Wow.
He was looking for Jacob Peterson, the 255-pound tight end, but how about the coverage on that Central Michigan secondary is Caleb Spann. Spann's real good, Gerard. We've watched this young man's game for 5 years here as a strong safety for Central Michigan.
Yeah, you saw a great complementary defense right there, Michael, in that the secondary held of its end of the bargain by creating a coverage sack situation. And then at the same time, the defensive line got Tucker Gleason off his spot, forcing him to make a pass in which he was not able to set his feet.
All right, 4th down and 3. Sideline warning just given the first to Toledo. So this is now Dylan Cunanan. This will be a 29-yard field goal attempt from straight on the sticks. Dylan Cunanan.
Oh!
It got blocked. It got rejected at the line of scrimmage. How about the special team strength of play from the Central Michigan Chippewas? Gerard, that's looking like that's a chip shot for Cunanan in the middle of the football field.
Yeah, low trajectory equals a block kick. See right here? Boom! Cochran with the block.
So Central Michigan at the end of all of that, their blocked field goal attempt.
time out on the field.
Just got hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. All right, we'll delve into all of that when we get back. Central Michigan with a field goal rejection against Toledo. Special teams, as in field goal special teams. Defensively, coming up big for Central Michigan.
That's right. The Toledo Conqueror with the big block. And that's motivating. That'll get you energized and fired up as he makes that block. And then you have a situation where Caleb Spann just makes a bonehead play, and that no need to rub it in the face of your opponent. That cost you 15 yards and also a talking to by your head coach, Matt Drinkle.
Oh, half the distance here in this situation. So the football is at the 8-yard line, and that's where Central Michigan will start the offense again. For quarterback Joe Labus, well, that is a stacked triple I behind him right now on this first down snap.
Oh.
Well, they got it blocked, and that first down carry got about probably got 3 to the 12-yard line.
We are seeing trench warfare take place between these two offensive and defensive fronts, and that it is physical play that's taking place out there, Michael. So impressed with these guys' attitude and effort thus far in this game.
Yeah, that's the first carry of the day for Trey Cornish. There he is, where's number 6? He's a 215-pound redshirt sophomore out of Winton Woods High School. Strong athletic program in Cincinnati, Ohio. Started his career at Tulane. Got 4, so second down here.
Whoa.
Oh, look at Toledo off the corner. Come up, they just blew that up. As coming up to make that stop off the corner was Andre Fuller, as he blew that up big time.
He has coverage skills, Michael, and he has tackling ability. That type of play gets you to the next level. And one thing we know about Toledo DBs, they make it to the next level.
100%. Yep. Always have. And just saw Quinyon Mitchell.
That's right.
The other night, he was one of the best corners in Toledo history. One of the best corners, I think, in the NFL right now, don't you?
Right, and I love the fact that he stayed in one place this whole time.
Yes, he did.
Had opportunities to go a bunch of places, but decided to stay within the MAC.
Now third down.
Oh!
Labus I think my partner's saying, oh, because he thought that could have been a Braden Alls pick 6 if he'd secured the football as he stepped in front of Langston Lewis.
Yes, and Braden Alls is capable of making those type of plays. So for Joe, he can't be late on that throw because that was almost a situation where you're at least going to find yourself turning the football over. Not necessarily pick 6 scenario, but certainly a spot where you don't want to throw that ball and put your football team in a bad spot with a turnover.
Toledo should get real good field position here. Declan Dooley to hang it high. Had a real good boot there from in his end zone as he drove a Bryson Hammer back just a shade into Toledo territory. They'll start this drive from the 47-yard line. Gerard, how about we take a peek at this Central Michigan defense, because they've been swarming and hitting hard on the Toledo, both offense and their pass game.
Yeah, very physical play. Look at that right there. Cochran comes like a missile out of nowhere. And then you have a situation where in the corner of the end zone, a batted down football. And right here, Cochran once again has been a name that we're calling that block of a field goal. He's fired up, and he rightfully should be.
Tucker Gleason back on this. It's good operating position for the 47-yard line. Blitz coming. Gleason stepped up, threw it out of bounds. He was looking at Junior Vandeross, but excellent coverage again off that Central Michigan corner by the youngster, Jayon Jackson.
Yeah, the sophomore from East St. Louis is step for step with a very talented receiver in Junior Vandeross, one of the best in the MAC when it comes to receiving the football. And you like the fact, Michael, there was no even and leaving scenario right there.
Right, exactly. You know what, too, and we talked to D coordinator Sean Cronin of Central Michigan, is almost like, well, I hope they do challenge him. That's how highly they think of him. All right, now that quick toss to Kenji Christian as Toledo goes back to the ground game here. On that second down call, Christian was able to get across the midfield stripe into Central Michigan territory, but still a 3rd and long. 3rd and 6 here as we're inside 9 minutes left, opening half.
Yeah, we find ourselves in the midst of a field position football game.
Vandeross across the formation. Well, nothing there, although Vandeross still came clean, ran his route. He's got a first down.
That's what you call sacrificing your body for the opportunity.
We do have a flag near Gleason. It's going to be holding on a member of that O-line for the Toledo Rockets. But how about the time, though? Vandeross had to cross. He came from outside the far hash mark all the way across the formation for Gleason laid it on him.
And got chipped in the process and still found a way to get himself to the football and catch it and sacrifice his body. But obviously that's all for nothing due to the holding call.
Well, advantage here now to the Western Michigan defense. This is 3rd and 16. That line to make is all the way down at the 43-yard line of Central Michigan. 16 yards for Gleason to try to negotiate here.
Cover 4, cover 2.
He's got a lot of time. He came middle, and that is hauled in. Tremendous ball as he put it on Junior Vandeross. Vandeross again. And Vandeross is an exquisite route runner.
Right. Whenever you have a situation where Vandeross is going to be matched up against a linebacker, he's going to win that matchup in the open field. They're in cover 2, that being Central Michigan, and Vandeross found the spot to beat cover 2.
Back live, nothing there for Chip Trainum on that carry as Trainum got dragged down. Looked like Michael Heldman, who we featured for you. Heldman took him down, 50 or 265-pound senior right here in the state of Michigan at a Romeo High School.
Yeah, very hard-nosed player, one of the captains on this football team, a leader obviously on the defensive side of the ball, and just does a phenomenal job of being that grinder, that workhorse, that guy who gets after the quarterback play after play after play.
This time clock is just rolling. We're halfway through quarter number 2.
We're not complaining.
Partner, I'm not going to hang you out to dry. It's all good. On 2nd and 11, whistles. And Toledo feels like, it's going to be the delay of game.
2nd down.
So it's going to cost the Rockets 5 here.
And again, pre-snap penalties that are hurting the cause of the Toledo Rockets. You've had nice drives take place, but how they've been shortened, curtailed. pre-snap penalties. He had to play a more disciplined brand of football. Believe me, I understand. These elements are harsh. But you play in this, you practice in this, heck, you live in this. But that is an interesting question. I got to imagine it's colder in Mount Pleasant than it is in Toledo, one would think. We're talking a 3-hour difference, 2-hour difference.
I'm no meteorologist, buddy, or weather forecaster.
I got to figure, the closer you get to the North Pole, the colder it gets.
Oh, you're going to bring the North Pole out now, huh? Okay.
And they are, from a geographic standpoint, closer.
Okay, Mr. Cali, Gerard Cherry bringing out North Pole thoughts. 2nd and 11 right now. Toledo trying to put the first points of the game on the board here. And again, we'll go through all the scenarios because they're multiple. Bottom line is for Toledo to have a shot, and they do have a shot to play against Western Michigan in the MAC championship game, though they got to win today.
Yeah, they
period. That's
do.
the first thing.
Right,
Gotta
first and
win.
foremost.
A loss will end their football season. But the Rockets, of course, they know about what it takes to win in November and play in the postseason. They've done it repeatedly. Pressure on Gleason. His throw. I think, Gerard, you think he had to get rid of that before he wanted to, maybe a stride?
I believe what he sensed was the pressure because he still had some time. The would-be defender was not as close to proximity as he threw that football. But I get it. Be smart. Don't take the sack. That doesn't help your cause. So get rid of the football. So I can't fault Gleason for that. On some levels, that's a heads-up play. But he certainly had more time to work with than he thought.
All right, it makes it a 3rd and 16 now. Central Michigan, 93 total yards, but defense is what they want now. Gleason came across that formation again. He delivered a strike to Terrell Crosby.
Oh, don't step over him.
Crosby paid for it as he took that big shot. Central Michigan defensive players trying to get Jayon Jackson, the young man we talked about, out of there. And there's no question that Toledo's always gone after Jackson a little bit here in the first half.
They certainly are picking on him, but to his credit, his teammates' credit, they're doing a great job of open field tackling. There are no run and after catch scenarios we've seen thus far with Toledo once they catch the football.
Jason Candle opts to get his punt team on the football field. Emilio Duran will hang that high. What a beautiful punt by Duran as Junior Vandeross playing special teams.
He does everything. Right?
He does. Well, that's why he's one of the very best in the nation. But he downed that at the 3-yard line. We're still scoreless. Central Michigan backed up deep when we come back to Mount Pleasant. Toledo Rockets defensive coordinator Vince Karras believes his defense is one of the best in the nation. They usually show everybody why.
Yeah, certainly the statistics back that up as well. But right here, you see Andre Fuller with an excellent open field tackle. Biggins with the run, and once again, Andre Fuller on the spot with an excellent open field tackle. That's right, be fired up. You rightly so should be playing to that level.
Yeah, Jay, and that Toledo defense, by the by, first in the MAC in 5 different categories, and it starts with allowing only 13 a game. Look at the time for Labus. Now it breaks down, and Labus had to throw that football away as he lofted it over the head of his tight end, Corian Temple.
Yeah, if Labus would have looked to his backside, he had his running back, Brock Townsend, briefly open in the flat route area as DePolonia was not providing initial tight coverage. But credit the defensive secondary right there on that play for not allowing Labus any place to throw the football.
Discussing the strength and the dominance of the Toledo defense a moment ago, this Central Michigan defense has started to get better and improve as the year has come along. As they're going to run the football is on that carries Brock Townsend.
They certainly get the most improved award as far as defense is concerned. Didn't start off that great, and the coaches are first to tell you that, but as the season progressed, you saw Kawakowski, you saw Hellman and company just step up and play at another level.
No question. Yep. This is 3rd down and 6 now for Central Michigan. Again, it's at their own 7-yard line. So we're going to find out if head coach Matt Drinkle, and again, now you're talking about a 5th-year senior here as your quarterback who's played a lot of football. See if Labus will put it up here.
Oh.
Got movement and flags, free play possibly. Labus's throw looked like it was in the hands of Tommy McIntosh, but again, flags, and we'll have to get this one sorted out.
And as looked like to me, Michael, offsides on the defense.
Offside. Defense. Number 46. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So Toledo did get hit.
Hold your water.
As we know, a lot of times easier said than done, right?
Well, in this case, hold your ice.
You try to get off that line of scrimmage, hold your ice. Okay, I see you, Gerard. Okay. This is 3rd down now, and a short one, though. Again, you got that triple I here.
Oh, nice.
That's 1st down. Bounce it off a tackle. Only needed 1, remember. And that's Brock Townsend. Redshirt freshman, they think Townsend, Matt Drinkle, and this entire offensive staff, they think Townsend's got some huge MAC football playing ahead of him.
Oh, he certainly does, and they talk about how he just does everything well. And I was listening to one of the press conferences, and Coach Drinkle just commented on how he doesn't look like he's running fast, but he is moving, and I'm so impressed. And we have a situation where all 3 backs are in the game, Michael.
Yep, got them all in that diamond formation, right? Now bouncing out of it is Trey Cornist. Stay on the ground. Look at Toledo's pursuit. 4 white-shirted Rockets come in to stop that play out of that diamond foundation, formation.
And Biggins is not getting up.
And Nari Biggins, the top running back of Central Michigan, wound up with that call. And he is down on the Central Michigan sideline.
For Central Michigan, you hope that obviously he's okay, but the formation itself is an opportunity to get 3 of your best football players on the field, and it results in a loss. And at the tail end right here, just again, you got a lot of white shirts piling up on the body of Biggins, and that turf has to be frozen at this point. So I'm pretty sure that did not feel good, and we still see him on the ground. Hopefully he's okay and able to get back up.
He's had a special year for the Central Michigan squad, averaging better than 5 yards a carry with a couple of touchdowns. Nari Biggins, that 5th-year senior out of the state of New Jersey, made his way to Kalamazoo, Michigan. Oh, excuse me, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We were just.
Yeah, you're going to get us in trouble, man.
Yeah, I'll get us in trouble if I say that again.
Yeah, please don't.
I was taking a
make
look.
It home tonight.
I was just taking a look at, which we'll tell you later on. I'll be honest. I was taking a look at all the nuances about who's going to play Western Michigan, the MAC champion here, or at least the #1 seed, we shall say, in the MAC here to go into the MAC championship game. So there's my excuse for why the Kalamazoo came out here in snowy Mount Pleasant on this Thanksgiving weekend. Glad you're a part of it.
Yeah, you got
with
people
us.
looking at us sideways in his booth now.
I'm going to keep Gerard upright, I promise. 2nd and 12 now for quarterback Joe Labus, this 5th-year Central Michigan senior. But before we get to snap, it's going to cost
Offense,
Central
number
Michigan
76.
half the
5-yard
distance.
penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, and uncharacteristic for both these squads to be so penalized. But believe me when I tell you, I understand. The cold weather can make you do things you're not accustomed to doing.
And that's coming, I'm sure, from your New England Patriots days in Foxborough. Yes.
It's funny, Michael, when it's like pouring down with the snow, that's actually better than this type of snow where it's just flurries.
Yeah.
Flurries are annoying, and it just seems to be at colder temperatures.
Labus came underneath.
Nice job.
He put it on. He put it on his running back, Nicorian Temple, who made that grab. Temple.
And you're seeing a lot of the horizontal concepts as opposed to vertical passing game taking place with these conditions. And it makes a lot of sense. Again, if the offensive line is going to hold up and provide a timing, stretch the football field horizontally and pick up some positive yards.
So Temple, who had 3 catches last week in the Central Michigan win at Kent State, makes his first of the day. 3rd and 7 for Joe Labus with 4 wide receivers. Came underneath. It is caught again. Tommy McIntosh. Well, McIntosh, no question about it, has become the guy now, receiving-wise, for quarterback Joe Labus.
Right. We've seen on 3 occasions they catch football and have positive results from a yardage standpoint. And again, this is a great call as well. You have a situation where they're showing blitz. They actually do blitz, that being the Rockets. And what do? You get your crosser in the vacated area where there are no defenders.
Yep. Good job there from Labus getting that done. So the Central Michigan drive now continues as we hit 2.5 minutes left in this scoreless first half in Mount Pleasant. Stay on the ground. Good inside cut on that run game from Brock Townsend. Townsend got 5.
Yeah, and you try to create a scenario right there where you have Townsend one-on-one with the linebacker or safety, and you have 2 tremendous tackling football teams. So you have a nice game, but not a bigger game that you're accustomed to getting in that type of situation with Townsend running the football. Very sound defensive players.
We have hit the 2-minute timeout in snowy Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Rapidly moving second quarter. We're scoreless. Toledo and Central Michigan. All right, back inside snowy Kelly Short Stadium in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We take a look at action this week, and there you see Bowling Green with a big win. UMass went 0-12 this year. Western Michigan got what they needed. Gerard DeClitz at 1 seed over rival Eastern Michigan. It's a big win for Ohio, too, over Buffalo.
It certainly is. Put yourself once again in a spot to where things go your way. You can find yourself in the MAC championship.
Sure. Toledo, they're there, meaning they could get in. They got to have a win, though. Labor's going to go deep.
Ooh.
It is caught. What a tremendous layout. Diving grab from Langston Lewis. He laid out beautifully, horizontally to pull that in.
Horizontally on a vertical route. That is exactly how you come down with the football to make a great play between two really good defenders in the process as well, as he beat Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety, for that football in the middle of the field.
He's a home run hitter, right? We know that.
Yes.
He's
come
caught
on late with it too, Michael.
Yeah, he's caught 3 touchdown passes this year. 2 of them have both been from 75 yards out each.
Right. Just a true vertical threat now, and a guy who can also get the job done with the run after the catch ability as well. Short pass he can take to the house as well.
Central Michigan now imposing their will in the red zone. Back to the ground game. Maybe one as Brock Townsend got that carry off the right side. Let's look at Langston Lewis again.
Rice. Sandwich between 2 defenders, comes down with the football. And that's just great concentration effort on the part of Langston Lewis as he beat Avery Smith and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Again, as we told you now, you've probably got 2, maybe 3 future NFL defensive secondary players in that Toledo defensive backfield.
No doubt about it. And Lewis certainly made it look easy right there.
Labus. Good. That football got deflected. It still had enough on it to be caught by Brock Townsend off the deflection.
Man, you appreciate Toledo toughening up once again in this red zone area. Yeah, they gave up some big plays between the 20s, but right here's where you need to be stout. And so far, so good for the Rockets' defensive front.
So off that catch, Joe Labus in the Central Michigan offense looking at a 3rd down and 4.
With 49 seconds remaining.
Brock Townsend, the running back, offset to his left. Motion from DeCorian Temple, the tight end. And Matt Drinkle's got to be upset with that.
We'll start. Offense, number 19. Our penalty. 3rd down.
Once again, concentration. It's so challenging and difficult in these type of conditions to do that. But again, we can't make excuses because they literally practice in this weather.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. Snow started to fall here earlier in the 2nd quarter.
Not much accumulations so far. But
not much, no. It's although later on today, but it's supposed to be after this one is finished. Labus will step up.
Nice job.
Labus will check that down. He put it on his wide receiver, Langston Lewis. Lewis made the grab. Now, where did he get shoved out of bounds at? 10?
Short of the 1st down, that's for sure.
Definitely short of the 1st down. And on 4th down and 1, and it might not even be a full 1, but the point is that head coach Matt Drinkle says, let's get points.
Yeah.
And that means Cade Graham. You know, I mean, if he's successful, he's the only points through almost 30 minutes of the 1st half. 28-yarder right hash. Graham, straight and true to put 3 on the board. Cade Graham with the short field goal from the right hash mark. So Toledo's D kept Central Michigan out of the end zone, but with only 38 seconds left in the 1st half, Central Michigan's got the first points of the football game today.
Yeah, it took a while to get to this point in time, but it is here, and I love the decision-making on part of Coach Drinkle. 3 points are a premium at this point because these teams are having very hard time scoring points. So if you have opportunity to do that, this field goal, exactly what you do. Take some momentum into the halftime because you do get the ball coming out.
Cade Graham's had a good year now. He is 14 of 16. So that's up near, what, about 88%. And from the area he just hit, he's now 5 of 6 on the year. But the most important thing is we have points on the board for the first time today. That's on that Cade Graham Central Michigan field goal. Well, 38 seconds left. Let's check timeouts here. I believe Toledo has got all 3 of them. So we'll see, depending on where this first down spot's going to be after this kickoff. It looks returnable.
That it is.
From the 8-yard line.
Oh.
With some space for Bryson Hammer. Hammer, the 180-pound sophomore out of Fremont Ross High School, that outstanding program in the state of Ohio, not too far from Toledo. We got a lot of friends at Fremont folk, and came to the University of Toledo.
For sure. And Michael, that was a great return on the part of Hammer. And you figure with 3 timeouts, all it takes is a couple big passes and you're right in field goal range.
Get that quarterback!
Bryson Hammer has averaged 30 yards per on his kickoff return. Gleason will throw the out route. It was on the hands of Trayvon Rudolph, but the senior out of Illinois could not haul it in. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and want to see if Toledo and Coach Kendall will get aggressive right here and just take a shot for the end zone. Why not?
Well, we know his QB's got the arm to do it,
yes,
right?
Sir.
We've seen that. Tucker Gleason, he can throw the football on those deep routes. He's going to keep the football on that straight quarterback run.
Oh,
he got hit
and
hard.
Is he okay from that?
They threw that flag just come out. Yeah, it did. This possibly could be an illegal hit, head area. Don't want to project, but
I mean, he tackled him high, but it didn't look like it was anything out of normal. He wasn't going for a slide either. So if you're a quarterback and you're not sliding, you're open for business, and that a defender can hit you any type of way if you're not going into that slide. And certainly Tucker was not doing that. Let's hope he's okay. But he certainly took a hard shot on that play.
All right, let's go, baby.
Can't call roughing the passer. He's running down the football field.
Definitely got the wind knocked out.
Jordan Kwiatkowski, of course, the captain of Central Michigan.
That's 12.
Over the sideline, but I guess the concern right now is that Toledo medical staff, training staff,
right,
just inside Central Michigan territory at about the 46-yard line, and that's where the flag, I think the flag's still sitting right there, was thrown right next to Tucker Gleason, the Toledo quarterback.
All right, he certainly took a shot around that chest, the neck, and head region, and that's always a dangerous proposition when you get hit there. And you appreciate the effort of him trying to pick up extra yards. And that just, again, expresses what type of football player he is. He's willing to sacrifice his body for his football team.
Yeah, no question about that. He seated is Toledo quarterback Tucker Gleason. He's had an outstanding year. Came in today.
No foul on the play for an illegal low block. Out from injured player.
Just say no foul on the play?
Yeah. No
All right,
foul.
so they picked the flag up as, more importantly, Tucker Gleason is now on his feet. It looks like he's being escorted to the Toledo Rockets locker room. So hopefully Gleason will be able to get back into action in the second half, but Jason Candle and the Toledo Rockets training staff not wanting to
30-second timeout.
not wanting to take any potential risk or chance with Tucker Gleason. So we'll see whether that's going to be now Caleb Osborne. Gerard, the freshman, played a little bit last week in the win over Ball State at Glass Bowl Stadium.
Yeah, well, figuratively speaking, he's not coming in cold.
Yeah, I don't know, you know, how much throwing or warming up he was doing, but let us take a look. It is Caleb Osborne. He wears number 7. He's a redshirt freshman. He hails from here in the state of Michigan. Went to Waterford Mott High School program, high school near Pontiac, Michigan. Caleb Osborne, the redshirt freshman, straight quarterback run.
Oh, gosh.
Welcome to Mount Pleasant. Caleb Osborne, as he just got rocked on that hit, was Elijah Ricard, the free safety.
Well, Caleb, turn your shoulders. Square up.
That, the final snap, and the Central Michigan sideline loves it because their 5th-year senior out of the Motor City of Detroit, Elijah Ricard, put a wallop on the just entered quarterback, Caleb Osborne for Toledo.
Yeah, so Toledo is still on the sideline, probably with one more play. This looks like a Hail Mary scenario.
So evidently Toledo got the timeout in with 1 second, which they've put on the clock. Central Michigan crowd not happy about that, but it appears that Caleb Osborne, the quarterback who just came in for the injured Tucker Gleason, going to get a shot to the end zone. Does he have enough time? No, he does not, as Central Michigan swarmed him and belted him down. Guess who? Of course, Jordan Kwiatkowski, their main man, the Mike linebacker on that sack.
And that's exactly how you want to end the half for the Chippewas, in that you had a great defensive effort on the part of Kwiatkowski and company, as Osborne comes in for Tucker Gleason and has no answer for Kwiatkowski and company.
Yeah, so Tucker Gleason, the real concern from the Toledo perspective is for him, as he was hurt on this final series of the opening half. The Central Michigan field goal standing up. The Chippewas trying to make it a rude and sudden ending to any Toledo championship hopes. Have a 3-0 lead. Don't go away. We'll get the halftime roll started for you out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, with Toledo on or behind Central Michigan 3-0. It's halftime here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, as the homestanding Chippewas of Central Michigan play host to the Rockets of Toledo. MAC championship game is starting to take shape. We will discuss all of the intricacies as halftime continues from Kelly Short Stadium. That's next. We're back here at Central Michigan University Kelly Short Stadium. You know, before MACtion began on Tuesday of this week, there were 17 scenarios. That's right, 17 that remained for the potential of the MAC championship game. After Tuesday night, just 8 remain. Let's listen to how Western Michigan clinched their spot as a top team in the MAC. Yesterday, Ohio also stayed alive.
Third down, Bangura back into the game, and he will be a decoy as they flip it out to the tight end, and tap dancing his way to 6. Untouched goes Mason Williams. The coordinator Joe Bowen said we must contain, and here's a fake, and there is all sorts of room. Ohio into the bag of tricks. Inside the 10, down to the 9. Jake Bruno, the number 2 tight end. Navarro getting a clean look at what his defense is showing. He will hand it off, and there goes Bangura. Touchdown, Bobcats. C.A. Bangura. Bangura back in there on first down. Navarro looking toward the end zone, puts it up into double coverage, and it's caught. His favorite target, Chase Hendricks, with the toe drag. Touchdown, Ohio. Keep an eye on the big slot. That's Mason Williams, 85 at the top. Big red zone target. They looked his direction. Navarro's going to sidestep his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Parker Navarro finds pay dirt for Ohio. Nail biters throughout the course of the season. They will look to pull off their biggest magic trick of the year right now as they throw over the middle. McMillan makes the catch, and he is tackled there, and that is going to be it.
Talik Williams on the little jet sweep. He's got something on that far side. He's got himself a touchdown. 36 yards for Talik Williams.
Real solid quarterback. Good solid tight end as well.
Yeah, he was a dual threat quarterback at Colgate. Lowry on the move. Lowry open turf. There he goes. Touchdown Western. Broncos with their first lead. Lowry looking for help. Can he find the end zone? You bet he can. Touchdown Western Michigan. Patience. Tipped up in the air. Taken away. Aaron Wofford with a fourth takeaway for this Western Michigan defense tonight. He slides over the direct snap it to Buckley. Pounds it up the middle. Touchdown Western. Picked off. 5 takeaways tonight. Sefa Saipuia with the interception.
The Toledo Rockets still do have a slim chance. However, all eyes are on the Miami Ball State game. That and first half highlights still coming up as halftime continues from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Halftime in snowy Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where the snowflakes they've intensified a little bit. Currently, that field goal for the Central Michigan Chips standing up with a 3-0 lead. We do know this: both defenses have been stellar. Central Michigan had the football inside the 5 on 3 downs, but look at that hit there from the outstanding Toledo corner Andre Fuller that kept Central Michigan out of the end zone after that Joe Labus completion. And for Central Michigan, they too have been very strong on the defensive side of the football, really hitting, led by their Mike linebacker Jordan Kwiatkowski and Dakota Cochran, who you saw on that hit a moment ago. Caleb Spann there, and then the field goal rejection as well, and that is how the defenses have pretty much dominated this first 30 minutes. We take a look at the numbers here as both squads have had a rather difficult time running the football. The pass game, as you see there, for Central Michigan has done a job with Joe Labus, but right now the bottom line is the only points on the board, the 3 from Central Michigan, as we'll get second half rolling for you next out of Mount Pleasant on ESPN. Yeah, the crew doing a terrific job here in a snowy Mount Pleasant. Kudos to one and all. Central Michigan's put the only 3 points on the board, and Gerard Cherry, Joe Labus was able to hit the one big throw here. Well, actually a couple of them. First to Tommy McIntosh, and that excellent layout throw by hooking up there as well.
Yeah, exactly, with Langston Lewis, who's had some moments. And as we see with this low-scoring football game, it's really going to come down to, once again, an interview football game. Who plays clean? Who executes? And I know with this type of weather and conditions, it is so hard to concentrate. But in the halftime, you had opportunity to warm up, get your mind, body, and soul right. And I'm looking forward to an excellent second half.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yes, sir.
I hear you talking, my man. All right, it's Central Michigan. Get their hands on the football first. And standing back around the 10-yard line is Brock Townsend. Now Reed Biggins is on the goal line. And Townsend decides to fair catch that football.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, fair catch the football at the 13. Thought Gerard he had maybe some plus yardage that would have got him past the 25-yard line, but he thought the fair catch was more in order.
No, there are at least 15 to 20 yards of open space for him to operate.
It seemed like it, yeah.
And great to see Biggins back on the football field as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's tell you about Joe Labus's first half. The Central Michigan quarterback, there he is, the senior out of Broadview Heights, Ohio. That's near Cleveland. And started his career at Iowa, of course. So there's Labus in the first half. Certainly very accurate. Hit the 9-12. First snap is that ground game, running power football on the carry with a Brock Townsend, who got a couple. We'll call it second down and long 7, short 8.
Yeah, and Townsend was one of the backs for Central Michigan who had some success running the football in the first half, and that he was finding himself at least in the second level on several carries, but right there couldn't get past that initial first level of the defensive front.
And from the running back side, now Reed Biggins, of course, who wears number 5, is their big play running back. But as Matt Drinkle told us, all 3 of the running backs are very similar. Kind of bounce outside, might have been a face mask. Don't see a flag. Central Michigan sideline wanted it. But again, it's Brock Townsend, Gerard, running hard. We take a look at this. Let's us determine. Was that potentially a mask here?
It certainly was potentially a face mask, but what impresses me about the run is that there was nothing in the interior. Yeah, that's certainly a face mask.
Oh, that's a mask. They missed that, didn't they?
They missed it, but what he does is trust his instinct. He sees nothing in the inside, so let me bounce it outside and pick up positive yards.
Well, this Toledo defense, as we know, so very strong. One of the very best, actually the best in the MAC on so many different categories. Now out of that power formation, nothing there. Toledo got that stopped as they got all over running back Trey Cornist. As that Toledo defense, that front 7, Gerard, probably we agree is good as any, maybe the best in the MAC, that front 7.
Yeah, they get after it, and there's so many metrics that we could share with you to tell you how prolific they are at stopping the run, stopping the pass, and overall just playing great team defense.
Second down and 9, and again, Chris D'Apollonia wears number 49. Kayvon Sherman, other linebacker. Martez Pointer, the big nose tackle.
First in scoring, rushing, and pass defense.
Yep.
Tells you everything you need to know.
They are prolific. And again, it's Nari Biggins on the carry. Although, Matt, we got the sense, Matt Drinkle, the head coach, he's not being fazed by this. He's saying, you know what, we're going to run the football.
Well, heck, they want this type of football game.
Sure they do.
They said they want to take you to that dark space where it's cold, it's ugly, it's murky, and this is the type of football game that they prepare for and they hope for with these conditions.
Yep. And, I mean, the way their defense is playing right now, you can understand head coach Matt Drinkle.
Yeah, complimentary football.
All right, this is 3rd and 7 now. Labus to put it up. Pressure. Incomplete. Labus had pressure as that pocket broke down. As providing that pressure, Malachi Davis. Davis, a 260-pound junior. He's a young man from nearby here, Gerard, for Toledo. Holt High School. When you're coming up north like we do to get up here to Central Michigan, you pass Holt High School.
Well, I'll be sure to say hello on my way passing back by.
Going back up? Okay.
I won't stop, though. I promise you that.
I got you. Central Michigan got to kick the football away.
Nice
Beautiful. Turning that over, but probably going to get in the end zone. As quickly, of course, Toledo's Bryson Hammer waved for the fair catch. So the Toledo Rockets are going to have the football in this 3-0 Central Michigan lead. We're right back to Mount Pleasant. Central Michigan with a 3-0 lead over Toledo after starting quarterback Tucker Gleason was injured in the first half. Head coach for the Toledo Rockets, Jason Candle, Gerard, there's the injury to Gleason. We haven't heard about the seriousness or lack thereof of it, although we do know that it's Caleb Osborne, the redshirt freshman here from the state of Michigan out of Pontiac, who's coming out to quarterback for Toledo.
And so far we've seen nothing but runs on his part.
First down call, got 3 off the right side as Chip Trainum, the carry. Trainum, and again, if you missed it, just came into this final game of the regular season at 856 yards on the ground, averaging almost 6 per tote. More importantly, though, 10 touchdowns.
Right, and the question becomes, can Toledo be methodical in this drive and just continue to move up the football field?
Yeah, Osborne there, he checked it down to Trainum. So, Gerard, typically a backup quarterback during the course of the week, would you say in live periods maybe gets 10% of running snaps with the first team offense?
I'd say it's less than that.
Less
Michael.
than? Okay.
Less than that.
All right.
You're hard pressed to get any activity unless you're on scout team. That's where you're going to do all your work and preparing for a football game.
Sure, understood. Stepping up in the pocket. Depending on the spot for redshirt freshman Caleb Osborne. Now they're going to mark that short. Needed to gain the 30-yard line. They marked it at the 29 and some change. And Jason Candle looks like he's getting the punt team generated, Gerard.
Right. And you could ask for a spot, but it looks short to me. And that's one of those situations, again, where, granted, he didn't slide for it. He tried to dive for it. Try steadying the football in the process of that dive.
Well, the Chips have Caleb Spann at the 35-yard line. And he's going to fair catch it at the 30. That line drive punt hanging up in the snowy Mount Pleasant, Michigan sky. All right, Central Michigan hanging on to their 3-0 lead. They got the football next. Joe Labus, the Central Michigan quarterback, did enough with that one drive, Gerard, to get his football team in position to put points on the board. That should have been 6.
Yes, it should have been. Missed opportunity right there, but he does go back to McIntosh, who finds himself in the open area to receive that pass. And one more time, he gets aerial with Lewis on the catch.
Yes.
And out the flat. Nothing special about that play other than the fact that Brock Townsend caught it. And Labus has had some opportunities and throwing effectively in very wintry conditions.
So Joe Labus, again, a young man. He's from the state of Ohio, Broadview Heights. That's a suburb of the city of Cleveland. Started his career as an Iowa Hawkeye in the Big Ten. Labus to put it up, crossing route.
Oh.
And that was broken up at the last moment as he was going for Langston Lewis, but that was a big hit out of that Toledo secondary. That's Emmanuel McNeil or Gerard Cherry, a future NFLer if we've ever seen one.
Right, and also give some credit to the official in the way as well, as Lewis tried to make a one-hand grab.
Young man from Tampa, Florida, with tremendous size
you said
for
Tampa,
safety.
Florida.
Yeah, well, 6'2", yeah. 6'2", 210 pounds, and a ball hawk.
Yeah, plays great in warm and cold weather conditions.
On 2nd and 10, pressure coming. Labus, that was dangerous as he was being swarmed on, and before he went down, he tried to throw that football out to the edge, and again, you put it around Emmanuel McNeil Warren, you're asking for trouble now.
Yes, you are. Dodged a serious bullet right here, did Joe Labus. You're going down, don't force the issue. That's a bad decision on his part. Just live to play another down. Very fortunate that was not intercepted.
Yeah, under heat. So Labus now kind of got a stay of execution there.
That he did, Michael.
But he's looking at 3rd and 10 here. Motion from McIntosh. Stay with the ground game. Trying to power off that left side. Got 5, but that is going to send the punt team out. As on that carry was Brock Townsend, the big back, the 225-pounder, but it's Toledo's defense who shows up here.
Yeah, he certainly did show up. That's what you want, 3-and-out scenario, get that offense back on the football field. And I must say, I love Townsend's running style. He runs upright Reminiscent of John Riggins back in the day.
John Riggins, yeah. Bryson Hammer back in that solo deep spot. Hammer is going to watch his football bounce around. Got a goal. Got a terrific roll.
Bad decision.
And still going. That football hit at the 25-yard line and rolled down to the 2.
We talk about hitting yardage. That's where you lose the hitting yardage. Townsend should have fielded that football, because now you find yourself in very adverse field conditions, being pinned up against the goal line with a 56-yard punt, which the majority of that was a roll.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's bad conditions.
I mean, that ball just wouldn't stop.
Let's go, dude. Look at that Central Michigan punt cover team.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Now can this backup quarterback, Caleb Osborne, get him out of this spot? He guns that in route. That is caught for probably a first down by Trayvon Rudolph. Well, how about Caleb Osborne, Gerard? Look, we haven't seen him too much. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. Hadn't played too much, quite frankly.
Yeah, slant cut. He throws it right where it's supposed to be. But one of the things he's going to have to realize is that you can't stare down the receiver too long.
A straight quarterback run for Caleb Osborne. Through a crease. Look at Osborne. Just got 12, maybe 13 first down. Caleb Osborne on that straight quarterback run.
Yeah, Osborne starting to get more comfortable in his position as the quarterback for the Toledo Rockets. And one of the things that we've seen throughout the course of this game is that the Rockets have done a fine job between the 20s. Can they finally break through into that red zone area and score?
They haven't been able to do that yet today, partner, in 2 and almost a half quarters of football. And again, playing without their starting quarterback, Tucker Gleason. Osborne will gun that quick throw. Junior Vandeross made the grab. Boy, Vandeross got cut down as it was cornerback Lambert. It was Dakota Cochran, wasn't it?
Right.
Dakota Cochran was out there in coverage and got him knifed down.
And Jacob Peterson provided excellent blocking in an open field as a tight end on that play, because you always worry about what? A holding call being called in those situations.
Well, how about the way that here through the first 5 plays, backup QB Caleb Osborne moved the football. Look at Osborne now. He's in open space. Caleb Osborne
going to the house. Oh,
got taken down with a touchdown-saving tackle at the 23-yard line. How about this? The backup to Tucker Gleason getting the job done. Almost a house call for him.
Great outside blocking. No one in the boundary area forcing this play. Osborne knows what he's supposed to do, but give credit to Elijah Ricard for making a touchdown-saving tackle.
This drive started right near his own goal line. Now Osborne looked like he wanted that bubble screen and pulled it down instead. Probably got 2. Taken down around the 25-yard line is Toledo trying to get into position, Gerard, tie it with a field goal, take the lead if they get in the end zone.
Right, if you're Toledo, you may be hesitant to take another field goal attempt because you got the last one attempted blocked. And Osborne took a shot to the head on that last play as well, so let's see how he responds.
Caleb Osborne, 6'3", 205-pound redshirt freshman. Back to the ground game, just nothing there.
Nothing there.
Chip Trainum ran into a host of maroon-shirted Chippewas. In on that initial hit, that looked like Quavon Bird. What they tell us, Gerard, they said the D coordinator, Sean Cronin, said extremely physical. Most physical we've got.
Yes. And if you're not going to block him, he's going to make the play.
This is 3rd down and 8. Now that line to make is at the 17-yard line. Osborne going to throw the deep out route. Landed out of bounds. He was looking at his tight end there, as he wanted to find Jacob Peterson, that big tight end who came into today with 21 grabs on the year. So now, right now, what Jason Candle telling us, this would be Gerard for about 42 yards out but that doesn't matter because offense stays on the football field.
Right, and obviously having a previous kick blocked, you're hesitant to to go for another one.
4th and 8, a lot of time. Osborne
Run.
still looking end zone. He waited too long, and he got blown up by Michael Heldman, the outstanding, hard-pursuing defensive end. Gerard knows he's a young quarterback. He's hardly played, but Osborne has got to throw the football there, yes?
Yes, or take off running because he was indecisive in the process of being indecisive. He finds himself off the football field with Central Michigan taking over.
Central Michigan hangs on to this most precarious 3-0 lead, getting late in the 3rd quarter when we come back. That man right there is a player, folks. Strong senior defensive end Michael Heldman out of Romeo, Michigan. Gerard, he has had a tremendous day getting after Toledo quarterbacks.
Yeah, in that situation, Osborne held, not to be confused with men, onto the ball too long, hence the poor performance on the play. But you got to get rid of it, be definitive.
Joe Labus on the Central Michigan offense. All kinds of time. Now that ball's out. That football's out. The signal is that Labus and or Central Michigan got it back. They've put up the 2nd down signal coming up. But, ooh, that Toledo front 4 rising up. And their defensive coordinator, Vince Karras, loves to put heat on QBs.
Right, and they got the job done right there with their front 4, which is even more depressing for the Chippewas when you don't have to rely on a blitz or a stunt, just flat-out pass rush in order to get the job done.
That is for a loss of 8, and Labus took a shot as well.
Let's go. Cover the ball, Graham.
So Labus trying to find a way to get into point-producing territory and add to this very slight 3-0 lead. Back to the ground game. Going to go with the more power back, and he shows you why there. Brock Townsend. Townsend has ran strong and sturdy today, and he's become the guy, at least in this one, it appears that head coach Matt Drinkle trusts the most with a football in his hands.
Yeah, he's the hot hand. in a very cold situation, and that Biggins has not been that effective, nor has Cornish, the other two running backs for Central Michigan, who normally are just as prolific as Townsend. But certainly, I like what Townsend's doing in that. If there's nothing inside Michael, he has no problem bouncing it outside. He has the speed to do it.
Well, that's what Matt Drinkle and his offensive coordinator, Jim Chapin, said they trust about him. Pressure coming. Labus will step out of the pocket.
That's
nothing there.
Pass.
Now he takes a look and ad-libs, and his throw is hauled in by Tyson Davis. Oh, you got to give Labus all kinds of credit for letting that evolve, Gerard Cherry. And I mean, it took a while to evolve.
Yes, it certainly did. As Labus is thrown out, throws it down the football field, and normally that's a bad situation, but to his credit, his receiver Tyson Davis comes up with the catch, and that could turn out to be the play of the game, Michael.
Tyson Davis, his 19th catch of the year. He's not the central figure in the pass game, but he came up big there. Back to the ground game. Toledo will stand that up as Brock Townsend maybe got one. In on that hit, coming up again out of that secondary. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Gerard, he's as good against the run as any safety that we have in college football.
That's right. He's basically an extra linebacker. He's fitting into the run defense for Toledo, and that he does just a really good job of diagnosing the run plays and understanding where his fit is, where he should force, where he should contain, and ultimately just has a nose for the football.
Yep, 6 tackles for loss on the year, 3 forced fumbles, couple fumble recoveries. Loves playing against the ground game. Where's number 7, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren? Now Labus with Warren coming after him. And that pass is deflected and batted away by Braden Alls. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, Jay.
Yeah, Braden Alls. Year from now, 2 years from now, do not be surprised.
Oh, yeah. We'll be talking about him for those strong Sunday plays he'll make, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, here's your FBS leaders for pass yards allowed per game. I mentioned Vince Karras, tremendous defensive coordinator of the Toledo Rockets. He has a great amount of confidence in his pass defense.
Understandably so.
Labus off play action. Pressure coming. He checked that down and found his kind of the receiver he's looking at a lot. He's got a development with Tommy McIntosh, who made the grab. But going to come up short now. All right, so you're on the plus 34 of your opponent. You got a 3-0 lead. This is a rapidly moving third quarter, 2.5 left. What are you thinking about if you're head coach Matt Drinkle here for Central Michigan?
You've been working all day and having success with the high-low game. Why not go back to those concepts and see if your offensive line, the key component holds up with the protection?
3rd and 4. The line to make is right at the 30-yard line for Joe Labus, who run out of the gun with Brock Townsend next to him. Play fake. Crossing route. It's going to depend on the spot, folks. Going to depend on the spot, and I believe they marked it short. They marked that short. Crossing route. Labus put it on his receiver, making that grab, Langston Lewis, but Gerard, that's short.
Yeah, he's short. He is short of it, that's for sure. And once again, we talk about running past the sticks. I love the route concept in that you have a linebacker match up against a receiver. Check that actually Avery Smith was on the coverage, so that's a great job on his part as the DB to get that Central Michigan offense off the football field. So for Lewis, the coaching point is simply go beyond the sticks. Don't be right at the sticks, Go beyond the sticks.
Partner, it seems like every week we discuss this, don't we? Every week. So, Toledo playing without their starting quarterback, Tucker Gleason, Caleb Osborne.
Ooh.
Misdirection on that ground game. Osborne went to that backup running back on the misdirect, Kenji Christian. Christian got 8. Boy, you love the second and shorts, right, partner?
Yeah, and that just sets up so many things for you to do from a play calling standpoint. Do we want to take a shot, or do we go with the conservative run play?
We are closing in on 45 minutes of football, as keeping the football as quarterback Caleb Osborne. They're going to give him progress. Yep, he got a couple, enough to move the sticks. But Gerard, we're closing in on playing 45 minutes of football, and this Toledo offense, now granted, they lost their starting QB Tucker Gleason, but they're without any points yet.
Right. Again, they've moved the ball up and down the football field, but when they get to that red zone area, they've been more than stagnant.
Quick play action now, throwing that out route that is incomplete. And threw that out. They wanted to hit the big tight end Jacob Peterson, did quarterback Caleb Osborne. A little bit too tall for the 6'4" Peterson to haul in.
Give credit to the 5'10", 160-pound Jan Jackson for making a play on the ball.
Now, Toledo's going after Jackson today a little bit, haven't they, partner?
Yeah, they certainly have, but he, to his credit, has come up with big plays.
Now back to the ground game. Oh boy, sure tackling for this Central Michigan defense. Kenji Christian just got a quick meeting in that hole with Elijah Gordon, the senior out of Midland High School here in Michigan. 3rd and long. That is a strong hit by Elijah Gordon.
It certainly is. Physical. You know it's a great tackle when the running back stops and doesn't move forward.
This is 3rd and a long 8. The line to make is in Central Michigan territory at the 49. Setting up middle screen. They put it on their top receiver, making that grab.
Wow.
Heading to the house. Touchdown, Chip Trainum, Toledo.
That right there is just, I am talented, I am gifted, and I can do things that most cannot on that play right there. Trainum should have been tackled at near the first down, finds himself doing a spin move, Michael, and the next thing you know, because he has obviously great running ability, finding himself to the house for the score.
For Chip Trainum, overall, that is his 12th touchdown of the year.
Let's go.
10 of them have come on the ground. That is the second one, Gerard, as a pass receiver for Chip Trainum.
They took the miraculous, something special, in order for this Toledo offense to finally score. That was one heck of a play.
Adding that extra point, Dylan Cunanan, and Toledo's got the lead. Now, take a close look at this. We see that one of the striped shirts inadvertently helped Trainum. The umpire did.
Maybe 3.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Inadvertently.
1, 2, 3. Yes. Go ahead, umpire.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
My goodness.
Yeah, they will be sending him a gift basket.
Well, not from the homestanding side of things today. No.
Sure. He'll have a free meal in Toledo. That was an excellent block.
Yeah, it was. It certainly wasn't generated as such as part of the offensive play plan by that man, Jason Kendall. However, with just 11 seconds left in this 3rd quarter, Toledo has their first points of the day. Wow. It took them almost 45 minutes to do it. This high-scoring, potent offense. They've got a 7-3 lead.
Explain to me again.
Why does Brock Townsend not want to return that, Jay?
Yes, I mean, it's not like he has issues with fumbling. It's 15 yards in front of him.
Easy, yeah. All right. 11 ticks left in the 3rd quarter. For the first time today, we'll see what head coach Matt Drinkle with his veteran quarterback, Joe Labus, and the Central Michigan offense has against this very stingy and stout. You could make a case if I said, the very best overall defense in the MAC, that would apply to the Toledo Rockets.
Exactly. Number 1 in scoring, rushing, and pass defense.
Labus stepped up. His throw was too high. His throw was too high as he looked for the Corian Temple, the very strong pass-catching tight end.
And this is where you want Labus to just settle down, not force the issue. You still have 6 seconds remaining in this quarter, the whole other quarter, to play some meaningful football.
This could be, we'll see, I say could be the final play. They're going with a diamond formation again.
We've seen this before.
With quarterback Joe Labus. Could be the final play, probably will be the third quarter. Going to the ground game, Nari Biggins on the carry. Got 6. Folks, we're through 45 minutes. It's snowy and cold. Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Kelly Short Stadium, real good one. If the Toledo Rockets want to hang on to any hope of going to the MAC championship game and play in Western Michigan, they got to have this one. We'll tell you more when we come back. 7-3 Toledo. 3 quarters in the books in Mount Pleasant. Back in snowy Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Kelly Short Stadium. It took the Toledo Rockets almost 45 minutes, a full 3 quarters to get on the board, but they did. And got in the end zone behind their backup quarterback, Caleb Osborne, as they now have grabbed a 7-3 lead. Going empty here with 5 receivers for Central Michigan's Joe Labus. Going to take a shot.
No, you can't call that. That's a horrible call.
And that flag came out as that throw was in the vicinity of Brock Townsend. I think my partner enunciated why he doesn't like it. What you got, Jay?
Well, one was even catchable. They bumped into each other.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I get it. You isolate Townsend on a linebacker, see if he can make the play, because they have a lot of faith in Brock Townsend, his ability. But the ball's not even catchable. He's inside, the ball's 10 yards outside.
You certainly can make a case for uncatchable. The back judge threw that flag. Toledo, their 6th penalty of the afternoons, cost them 50 yards. Central Michigan, only a couple. And that moves the football out now to the 45-yard line with 4 receivers here now. And motion along the formation, ground game.
This is dangerous.
Nari Biggins just got 14 and a first down. Now, did that football come out? But it was out of bounds. Football went out of bounds. How about the play from Toledo?
Yeah, you got an opportunity right here for Toledo Rockets to get this football.
They did. Anthony Dunn. Look at Anthony Dunn.
Got to keep you
Where's number
control.
58?
See, the football guys try to even things out there.
So we're delighted to have all of you with us on this snowy Saturday in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Michael Regai, Gerard Cherry, Gene Winters, our producer, Mike Bacon, our director, all of the crew. Central Michigan staying with the ground game with Nari Biggins. And Biggins on that first down call got 3. We'll call it 2nd down and 7, although they've kept Nari Biggins kind of. Oh, excuse me, was that Trey Cornish?
Yes.
On that carry? My apologies. 5 and 6. And with the jersey kind of
wrapped
tucked
all
a
up.
little bit. Yeah.
Not to mention snowy conditions.
No excuse. No excuse. That's me. It was Trey Cornish who does wear the number 6 and not Nari Biggins who wears that number 5 on the carry. Now off the play fake, Labis taking a shot, middle. What a tremendous grab. Langston Lewis rising high, using those special hands of his to pick that out of the air. But wait a minute, it's coming back, Gerard Cherry.
You know why it's coming back. Makeup call.
Matt Drinkle, of course, not at all pleased with that.
Yeah, but great effort on the part of Langston Lewis. He just has developed, Michael, these past few games into an excellent receiver. So impressed with his ability to catch the football.
Yeah, he has. He went up and made a highlight reel grab that he thought was going to count. It did not. 2nd and 12. Labis tried to hit that short crossing route with tight end Henry Dryden. But now you're going to get 3rd down and long, as in 3rd and 12 here. We're early in the 4th quarter with Toledo's first touchdown of the day, giving them this 7-3 lead.
Yeah, I'm looking at the body language of both these sidelines, and right now is much more energy taking place with the Rockets than it is with the Chips.
Yeah, normally there's a tremendous traveling throng and crowd with Toledo Rockets and their football program, but because of the weather, that shortchanged that quite a bit today. 3rd and 12 for Joe Labis. Not a lot there. Labis finally checked that down and put it on his tight end. Making that grab was the Corian Temple. It's going to bring up 4th down and short. You're trailing 7-3, and Gerard, don't you start playing time, and how many times are we going to get opportunities in Toledo territory,
exactly. Right? Ball possession becomes a topic of conversation amongst the offensive coordinator and his head coach, Matt Drinkle. And you're saying to yourself, go for it right here. Your defense has been stout for the most part, so I appreciate the call of being aggressive here. And that offensive coordinator being Jim
Chapin. Yep, Chapin also OC, quarterback coach. Here we go. 4th down and 3. Going to run the reverse. Looking to throw the football, but in a whole lot of trouble. Toledo had that smelled out as they got all over Langston Lewis, who looked like he wanted to throw the football. And Gerard, that again was that pressure from that Toledo front 7. Anthony Dunn will step back off the edge to play outside linebacker. Football goes over on downs. Toledo got their stop and they lead it 7-3. A lot of success on the offensive side of the football this year for the Toledo Rockets. Gerard, Jerry, these two, a large component thereof.
Yeah, look at that. 22 of them, 23 touchdowns. That right there tells you how prolific they are on the offensive side of the ball for Toledo. But more importantly, when they need a big play, Chip Trainum as well as Junior Vanderos has come through today. Especially Chip with that touchdown.
Right, and they're going with their number 2 quarterback, the backup, Caleb Osborne, the redshirt freshman who ironically hails here in the state of Michigan. Look at Chip Trainum. He just got himself skinny, Gerard, and cut through a couple of would-be tacklers and picked up 4 on them, maybe 5 on that first down call.
Yeah, and Chip's been averaging 4 or 5 yards carry, and great job by Max Blackwell to get that tackle in the open field, because if he doesn't make it, Chip is probably still running. You
know, it's funny too. Remember, we're discussing him with Jason Candle this week, and the head coach says it's real simple. He's been tremendous for us. He's a pro.
Yeah. I also like how Coach Candle said we've been tremendous for him as well, and that's so true. Chip has been to a few schools.
All right, on this second down at 6, and that's going to move the sticks again. First down. Now, you wonder if this Toledo offensive line and ground game, now that they got their touchdown on the board, and this is rapidly moving, folks.
Right.
We're 4 minutes deep into the fourth quarter. You think they may try to lean on this Central Michigan D a little bit?
That's exactly what you want to do, and it seems like to me that Trainum is starting to switch into another mode and gear as well, because you see right there the physicality of his running. We said it before.
Yep, 230-pound tailback out of Akron, Ohio. Train him again. Not this time.
Yeah.
Not this time. He got dragged down by Dakota Cochran. What a player in terms of seek and track down Dakota Cochran is. Huh?
Yeah, seek and destroy, track you down. Had a really, really strong first half, blocking a field goal and making some key points from a tackling standpoint, and one of the few people I've seen not train him backwards.
Yeah, we're discussing those that certainly would be NFL players. Count that young man that just made the tackle, Dakota Cochran, among them, the 5th-year senior from Shaker Heights in Ohio. 2nd and 11 on that throw. Ball by himself, making that grab before he steps out of bounds is Junior Vanderos. Boy, Gerard, you tell us. I got to think that's a bust. You can't let Vanderos be running that free at 10, 12 yards in open space.
Well, again, you don't have a guy dropping to the curl of the flat area. You're in the zone concept, or if you're playing man, you got it rubbed on the route, the defender, so that might be the explanation for why he was so open. But that is certainly the guy that has number 2 in the white jersey, you do not want to leave alone. He commands that level of attention.
Yep, 100% there. So Vanderos getting a respite on this snap with backup quarterback Caleb Osborne. Kenji Christian is offset now to his left. Christian, the running back. Christian on the carry. Kenji Christian. Real nice cut.
You see, he's a step away from doing something special.
Yeah. Doesn't he let the blocks develop real nicely too, Jay?
Yeah, he certainly does. And that has got some unnecessary behavior taking place on the football field, and
Cole Rett
has been asking for it all game. He needs to settle down, because this is
Active play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 6. After this is to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, Cole Rett was looking to come in defense of Kenji Christian, and an unsportsmanlike conduct call just got laid on Kalen Carroll. There's Carroll, the junior corner out of Indianapolis. Boy, but that sets up Toledo first at goal from the 9. The way this one is unfolded, they put 7 on the board here.
Yeah, it's like putting on.
They're putting themselves in a good spot to keep their hopes of playing in the MAC championship game alive next week. Got to have a win to do that. Christian's in the house.
Whoa.
Got the blocks in that A gap. Kenji Christian, quick touchdown on the ground game for the Toledo Rockets, and suddenly that 3-0 deficit has turned into a 13-3 lead awaiting the extra point.
Yeah, you can sense from our vantage point the momentum shifting in that the Toledo Rockets offensive line was just starting to surge forward. And you could also tell by the way the running backs were running untouched that they're going to have some success running the football on that drive.
So Kenji Christian with the ground game for Christian. His 4th rushing touchdown of the year. Untouched as he went to the house there. Adding that PAT, Dylan Kunanen, and suddenly, as we were saying, Gerard, a 3-0 deficit. Central Michigan with the lead. Although we do have a flag here, but for the time being, it's evolved into a 14-3 Toledo lead. With a couple of touchdowns.
And this has all the markings of unnecessary.
Oh yeah, agree with you here.
The try is good. Personal foul, Lawbridge. Defense, number 15. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yep, too much extracurricular out of Caleb Spann, the outstanding strong safety. But the bigger point of this, touchdowns twice after trailing 3-0 has elevated Toledo to this 14-3 lead. Fourteen unanswered points, Gerard Cherry, for the Toledo Rockets, and with a backup quarterback after longtime starter Tucker Gleason injured and out in the first half.
And they did the old school way. And you're saying, what's the old school way? They ran the football. And in this type of weather, when you get that physical, it can take the heart of a defense. And on that last play, it seemed like that was the case. And that's a very, I respect a lot, tough defense that Central Michigan puts out on the football field. But you cannot have a running back going to the end zone untouched.
Yeah, no question. That was the backup running back. They went to Kenji Christian. And Christian, as we were saying, with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year, 5th overall. Good-looking junior, transferred into Toledo out of North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, if I'm Central Michigan, I'm saying to myself, how do we get McIntosh and Lewis involved with some quick scoring opportunities? Because certainly they have the ability to do that.
Well, you're right, partner, and quick scoring has got to be the the ultimate here for Central Michigan, as we're down to 8:41 left in it.
Because I promise you, Michael, if Toledo gets their hands on the football again, offensively speaking, they're going to run the football and melt the clock.
Yeah, without question. So Central Michigan. Matt Drinkle has had his squad play real strong coming down the stretch. Girard, they won 4 of their last 5 coming into today. The only loss in the last 5 weeks, a 3-point loss in Kalamazoo to their arch rival Western Michigan.
A game which they led the majority of.
Labus, sack time Toledo, just flying in off the edge for the Toledo Rockets to make that hit. Was that Kevon Sherman? It was. He lined up on the edge, didn't he? Normally a Mike linebacker.
Get the job done. And this is where it's so frustrating to play against the Toledo Rockets football team because they're so good across the board. They're a complete football team. And you see the offense steps up, and what does the defense do? Come back with a sack on the first play of the series for Central Michigan.
A loss of 7 on the sack. Labus, pressure, second consecutive sack for this Toledo defense. That's Martez Pointer. Pointer, the senior out of St. Louis, Missouri.
They weathered the storm, Michael, and now they are enforcing their will upon the Central Michigan football team. Back-to-back sacks. That's just sheer domination and frustration. You have to be if you're Warren Labus, saying to yourself, I need some time, guys. I need some time, but he's not getting it. And they're doing that, Michael, not blitzing.
Yeah.
That's their 4-man front.
Yeah. Boy, and such a large amount of kudos for their D coordinator, too, Vince Karras. Off that play action, going to throw deep. Diving attempt at that interception out of the secondary. Was that caught? And the officials saying that's going to be a pick by Emmanuel McNeil Warren? Well, that Toledo sideline, they are certainly trying to pump it up as such. And that is a tremendous layout interception from Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Or wait a minute, are they saying yes or no?
Well, the ref's saying that he was forced out of bounds, but that looks like
no. That's no.
Pass is under further review.
You know what? Honestly, they haven't really made a signal yet, and that's wrong. You got to make a call over there, even if it's overturned. You got to make a call.
Yeah.
No signal was made, whether that's a pick or it's an incomplete pass. And now, of course, got to look at it. That's fine, but you got to make a call.
Exactly.
All right.
And in these conditions, you got to make a call. Let's see. As McNeil Warren, we told you about his future, and it's bright. But that is one heck of an effort on his part. And the DB and me wants to call that interception. And we'll see right here. Diving for it. Does he control it? We can't tell.
Well,
now the question is the referee or back judge who has a view of it, field judge, why didn't they make the call right there? They had a better angle of it.
Yeah, have no answer for you, my friend.
After review, the rule of the field is changed to an interception. It'll be Toledo's ball at the 34-yard line. First and 10.
That's the INT.
Well, so there you have it. That's Emmanuel McNeil Warren on that layout INT. Maybe a little early to say that solidifies it, but oh, does it put Toledo in great shape. Emmanuel McNeil Warren with their 11-point lead. After the Toledo Rockets trailed early in this one, they have come back with tremendous defense and getting some Chip Trainum on the offensive side as well.
Yeah, some help from the officiating as well on that play, but Chip had a phenomenal pass catch and then right up the gut. You have your backup running back for the Toledo Rockets in one, Kenji Christian.
Both running backs, that's right, partner. And now the backup QB. The backup quarterback, Caleb Osborne, who's engineered all this. He's in trouble, though. Well, kept things alive, still alive. He was in trouble. I said that 10 yards ago, and he wound up coming from 3 yards behind the sticks and got 7.
Yeah, Caleb shows you his ability to be elusive on that play because he was dead to rights. For a tackle for a loss was said, no, sir, not so fast.
Good size. He's 6'3", 205 pounds, close to, well, not close to here, but you know, a little bit down south of where we are up here in mid-Michigan in Mount Pleasant. Pontiac, Michigan, for the backup Toledo quarterback Caleb Osborne. This is Chip Trainum. Trainum got knocked down, but not before. He's going to move the chains. First down, and Gerard now, this rapidly moving clock with Toledo controlling the football and in charge with an 11-point lead at 14-3 is really starting to become a detriment for the Central Michigan Chippewa.
Yeah, some timeouts are going to have to be called pretty soon because time is of essence and it is running out.
Well, and if you're Jason Candle, you're telling Caleb Osborne we're not snapping the football until that play clock gets inside 5.
Yeah, if not 1.
You're right. It's at 5, and that's exactly when they snapped it. Osborne. Boy, he is a runner that kind of gives you leg, takes it away, keeps his run alive, and seemingly, like we just saw on the previous carry, gets a couple, 2, 3, maybe 4 yards after that initial contact.
All right, key part of that was close to the sideline, heads up play, did not go out of bounds.
We might come inside 5 minutes left in this one before this next Caleb Osborne backup Toledo quarterback snap for his offense. And he's in no hurry.
No hurry.
And he shouldn't be. He's just over there looking at his head coach, Jason Candle, setting the offense up. Beautiful job.
All right.
Play clock at 1 when he snapped the football. Trainum got a couple.
And what you're speaking to is a sign of great coaching. Whenever you have a situation where your backup comes in and things are still moving seamlessly against a really good football team, that lets you know that Coach Candle and company are doing a phenomenal job of coaching their football team from top to bottom.
Yep. Well, again, it's backup QB. So I asked Gerard earlier in the game today, you know, what does he get? Maybe 5% of the snaps with the ones, maybe?
If that.
During the week, but you got to be sharp of mind and stay intact with what the offensive approach is and not start just wanting to snap the football when you got an 11-point lead trying to run the clock out. Quarterback draw, not much there. That third down is going to get back to the line of scrimmage for backup QB Caleb Osborne and bring up 4th and long now. So is Jason Candle going to even bother taking a chance bringing the field goal team out? Gerard, it would be about 37 yards if they do.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this was a side of the football field where they had one blocked, so coaches have a long memory, and I'm sure Coach Candle remembers just that.
Are we a little surprised that Matt Drinkle during this Toledo drive hasn't used a timeout?
I have been surprised at that because I thought around the 6-minute mark that it would take place.
Because almost 4 minutes now have run off the clock. You know he's not going to throw this. Stepping up, though. Caleb Osborne, the football's out.
And he was short of first down anyway, so it's not like that's a big
that was
deal.
4th down, so it's going to go over to Central Michigan. Junior Anderos is saying we, meaning Toledo has it, but where's the spot? Because that was a 4th down snap.
Right.
So it could be short again, although. Why'd a flag just come out?
Someone did something.
Okay, I don't want to, elaborate on it too much, but I'll put it this way. If we get the call.
As the runner is short of the line of game, it'll be first down for Central Michigan. After play, on sportsmanlike conduct, Toledo, number 65. A windless helmet. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, with an opportunity to run the game out, Toledo comes up short on the 4th down and then gets a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on top of it.
And you appreciate what Osborne's doing. Nothing there. He's definitely more decisive in running the football, but just protected at the end. That's the key to it all. And granted, he still would have been short of the first down.
Yeah.
And for Stephen Gales, you're a junior. Act like upperclassmen.
I'm just going to say, I'd like to see a little bit more decisiveness in calls being made from the officiating crew than we've seen today. How about that?
That's fair.
I just want it to be more decisive than they've been. It's Central Michigan football. There's 3:23 left in this. Central Michigan is a couple of scores in arrears.
Right, and you're going against the best defense in the MAC.
Yeah, as we mentioned, their defensive coordinator, Vince Karras, and his Toledo Rocket D, they are number 1 in 6 different MAC defensive categories. They'll give that up all day long.
Yeah.
Tommy McIntosh of Central Michigan hauled in that Joe Labus pass. What did he get? Got 5, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, nickel and diamond will not help you with 3 minutes left on the clock. Within.
Toledo has won 4 of their last 5. They haven't lost. Boy. It's a 3-point loss at Kalamazoo, and sack time again. Toledo's Rockets as Joe Labus on the ground as coming up to make that hit for the Toledo Rockets. Gerard Kayvon Sherman, he has been omnipresent going after the football today.
Yes, he has. Very active. One of the guys for this Rockets defense has just done a superb job of containing Labus and company.
3rd and 16. Labus going to throw that quick in route. It's hauled in. Breaking away from a tackle. I tell you what, Tommy McIntosh has been extremely impressive today. Came up with about a yard shy of that first down,
and
but
hurts his shoulder in the process.
McIntosh has been strong today. A pit bull. The offensive coordinator Jim Chapin called Tommy McIntosh a winner. Extremely tough. 2-minute timeout. Don't go away. We'll see if Toledo could close this out. They lead by 11 points over Central Michigan. Back inside Kelly Short Stadium here in Mount Pleasant. The Toledo Rockets have put together a strong second half. Not quite put it away yet, but they do have a 2-possession lead. And this is 4th down and 1 for Central Michigan as they try to keep their diminishing hopes alive. Didn't happen. That should just about do it, as quarterback Joe Labus got knocked down behind the sticks, and Toledo is but a minute and 56 of putting this in the win column. And Gerard, most importantly for them, they stay alive in their opportunity to maybe play Western Michigan in the MAC title game next weekend.
That was the mission, and so far it's looking good for them. And just that play alone, just great defensive effort on the part of the Toledo Rockets defense as they really step things up. And this is the worst part if you're on the defensive side of the ball right now, where you know you can't do nothing but watch them melt this clock away.
No, the Toledo Rockets with a backup quarterback today after their starter Tucker Gleason got injured. Well, we got a flag before the snap.
Pre-snap penalty.
Well, I know Jason Candle is not happy about some things. He's more than happy about right now an 11-point lead and the football with $1:56 left. But you can't have that kind of penalty before you even snap the ball.
Exactly. Clean football is of essence. Even with the commanding lead, you're just going to finish strong.
Chip Trainum has come free. Put the victory tag on it. Chip Trainum, touchdown, Toledo. And the Rockets have solidified this one today. They are going to end this season with their 8th win of the year regular season. And Gerard, as we're going to go through here in a couple of minutes, an opportunity still alive to play in the MAC championship game next week against Western Michigan, Ford Field in Detroit.
Certainly the opportunity presents itself. Now the question I have, would he have been better served sliding there as opposed to scoring?
Yep, well, he opted for the end zone, did Chip Trainum.
He opted for stats.
Well, okay.
Not my desire to have this game over with.
Well, let's see, for Chip Trainum, that is his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. The Rockets will add the PAT, and all the Central Michigan fans, boy, they played a strong 3 quarters, but it's got away from them here in the 4th.
Yeah, and the second time we've seen a touchdown scored by running backs in which they were untouched. Great job on the part of the offensive line for the Toledo Rockets of just giving Chip Trainum and company great space to operate with. And when you have holes like that and you're a caliber running back as Trainum is, you're going to do damage. And that's certainly what they did. That is it was a game breaker prior to that, but that certainly put the nail in the Chippewas' coffin.
Yeah, we're just a minute 49 left with this one now decided. Going to be a Toledo W. There you see Miami with a 38-17 lead. That also mid-4th quarter. But it looks like Miami, with their win, will go to the MAC championship game and play Western Michigan. Toledo had to have a Ball State win over Miami today.
Yeah, well, it's still odd in that Miami lost to Toledo and lost to Ohio.
Yeah, no, so I got you.
How does one, having lost head-to-head matchups, end up in a championship?
It's a definitive and major talking point, Gerard. No question about that. Solid return for Central Michigan's Nari Biggins. Biggins, the outstanding running back, just not really been a big factor today against the tough Toledo D.
No, he's not. They have done a tremendous job of slowing a very prolific runner in Nari Biggins, and keeping him in check. He really hasn't had a breakout run.
So Joe Labus, we'll see, could be the final possession of the year in the regular season. Central Michigan coming into today with 7 wins on the year, Gerard, and you know, one would think at 7-5, right, that they're going to have an opportunity to go bowling
Right.
Play another football game this year as reward for, this strong 7-win season.
Right, and credit Coach Drinkle for turning this program around in the right direction.
Excellent job by Matt Drinkle. Labus checked that a couple of 2-3 times, looking down the middle, and now Reed Biggins making the catch. Biggins got popped by that Toledo Rocket defense.
Andre Fuller again.
Yeah, Malachi Davis and Andre Fuller, right, combined on a couple of hits. And we're inside a minute left in this 2025 Mid-American Conference regular season. Ahmet Carey, the talented running back, and now Reed Biggins for Central Michigan. So, Gerard, as we said, the Chips are winners of 4 of the last 5 before today, but are going to wind up 7-5 on the year, and probably get a bowl game though.
Right.
The MAC with their bowl alignment.
Oh!
Almost picked off as Joe Labus was trying to gun to Langston Lewis. And that's that terrific linebacker, Chris DePolonia, for the Toledo Rockets.
Just a sophomore, people.
No, he's a good one. Going to be even better.
Excellent read, break on the football on his part.
And Gerard, how about the first thing I look at? We're talking linebackers. How about this size? 6'3", 240.
Reminds me of the days when I played.
6'3", 240 pounds, and with bad intentions as a hard-hitting linebacker, right?
Exactly.
How about that?
Oh, there's Biggins.
Now busting loose again is Biggins. Biggins broke a couple of tackles and knocked down right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough of those plays today on Biggins' part as far as explosives, but certainly he has the capability to do that.
Labus on the throw. Outside the numbers on that left side of the field as Labus hooked up with Tyson Davis.
Yeah, you appreciate the effort that Central Michigan is giving right now, not quitting on this football game, still trying to score, though the game is out of reach.
Just 21 ticks left. Central Michigan trying to put it in the end zone as they have thrown the Chips. Joe Labus today has thrown Gerard for 233 yards.
Hey.
Time of possession, 3 minutes more than Toledo, but on the wrong end of what currently is this 18-point Toledo lead at 21-3. Labus checking down inside, hit Langston Lewis. What do you think? Going to be the final snap? They're going to get up, get lined up.
I think they're going to get one more in, Michael.
Yeah, I think you're right. Going to get one more snap as the clock runs down. Labus will look end zone. Came underneath. Toledo said, oh, we're not going to give you that last one. It's over, and you can book this to the Toledo Rockets, who, with a little bit of good fortune they'll need from the Ball State Cardinals, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But they come away with a 21-3 win over the Central Michigan Chippewas. Right. Strong performance by Jason Candle at Toledo.
No doubt about it. And Coach Candle will be the first to tell you, barring 3.5 to 4 quarters of not so good Toledo football, they'd be in a different situation right now as far as the MAC championship is concerned. But with that being said, great job on their part of weathering the storm and finally finding a way to pull away from a very tough Central Michigan Chippewa football team who certainly put up a fight for the majority of the game.
So Toledo improves to 8-4 on the year. Central Michigan falls to 7-5. Strong road performance from the Rockets as they beat Central Michigan in the snow in Mount Pleasant at 21-3. Tremendous job by our crew today. Our producer, Gene Winters, our director, Mike Bacon, all of the crew. Our statistician here in the booth, John Nelson. Everyone today working in the cold and snow in Mount Pleasant did a tremendous job. We greatly appreciate it, gang. It's a final from Kelly Short Stadium. Toledo beats Central Michigan 21-3. For all the crew and my partner, Gerard Cherry, I'm Michael Regai. We'll talk to you soon with college football. So long, everybody.